Welcome to the Fear Fiction Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
So you kids there, you like your Pokemans, your swords and your shields? You guys, either of you play Pokemon Sword and Shield yet?
I haven't. I can't imagine it's selling too incredibly.
Sarcasm? Question mark?
From my social media experience, have seen it get a lukewarm reception.
Okay, because it's outsold the Let's Go game. You know, like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Supposedly it's outsold.
Oh, those games were terrible, though.
Yeah, those were like strangely niche releases, so I'm not surprised that a mainstream release outsold them.
Strangely niche, by the way. Is that like a performance artist that you know?
Strangely Niche is my favorite hipster cafe.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
The entire building is an isosceles. It's kind of like tilted over.
Yeah,
right.
Precisely.
And it's like between two other buildings, or
you have to like lay at an angle, kind of very uncomfortably to eat your food.
Mm.
That's some real hipster shit. Being uncomfortable while you eat your food.
But like,
I hate this. I love it.
I have an extreme love-hate relationship with hipster bars and hipster cafes and hipster restaurants because they do occasionally come out with really cool food and alcohol and stuff, but good fuck is the decor and the vibe just so hipster.
So like you walk into a hipster bar and there's like a jackalope head on the wall and like street signs or what?
Oh, I went into one that
autographed picture of Marilyn Monroe. No, go ahead.
Admittedly,
this is sounding like a goddamn Max and Irma's, not a hipster bar.
I went into one that makes really interesting cocktails, but the entire thing is done up like your uncle's 1970s hunting lodge.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your uncle's basement. I was like, oh.
Sure, that too.
I went to this bar, and the entire thing was actually just the set of the Red Green Show.
God damn it. Who knows? Anyway, back on topic. Uncles and creepy basements.
Uncles.
So back on topic. Today we're going to be reading Pokemon Creepypasta and the lost episode of the Red Green Show.
Yes. Pokemon Red Green.
Yes.
I went to a hipster bar once where they actually mix the drinks in your mouth. It's pretty interesting.
I mean, that's kind of what an Irish car bomb is. Actually, you're mixing it in the glass and then mixing it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, you just like lay out on the floor. The bartender comes by and pours it into your mouth, and then he takes like a swizzle stick.
And then he spits in your mouth.
Yeah, he spits in your mouth, takes a whiz on you.
Can I get one of those mouth swirlies? We can't do that anymore because the health inspector came and he said we can't be sticking spoons in people's mouths.
We can't do that anymore because the health inspector came and he said...
And we don't want an F on our restaurant rating, so...
Mm-hmm. Restaurant rating, yes.
Restaurant.
Would a hipster bar want an F just because it was, like,
no, because
unusual?
You get shut down. You get an F.
The hipster bar that's so cutting edge that it gets shut down every week and reopens.
The lowest I've ever seen, I think, was a B. But I've seen A's that were just as scuzzy, so I don't even know how the fuck they grade. I think it's like A, B, or you get shut down. I don't think there's really any in between.
Do they actually put the thing in the window?
Yeah.
They don't do that here.
Oh,
yeah, you're required
Ohio.
to here. Don't go to Ohio.
I went to a restaurant once. I can't remember if it was like a Perkins or some crazy shit like that. But
okay, boomer.
Yeah, it was like one of those ones that you never really should be going to, but you go there anyway. Denny's, some shit like that. And had like a nice big omelet, eggs, not too risky a food. And, on the way out, looked over the counter as I was paying and said, "Oh, a D." Oops.
Were they scrambled eggs or were they like...
it's an omelet.
Oh, duh. Yeah, scrambled. I was going to say, eggs you can't really fuck up if you do scrambled, but the undercooked versions.
Yeah.
You could. I just got this new vodka, and I think I may need more soon. So yeah.
Yeah, that's called alcoholism. So
Yeah.
today
it's just really good.
It's just good, dead ferret.
Okay, so today we're going to be reading some microfiction.
Yay.
To go with our micro penises.
Yep, aggressive micro penis energy here. We're going to be reading. First, we're going to start off with a classic, "The Woman in the Oven."
By the way, my favorite all-girl metal band is Aggressive Micro Penis.
I think they're kind of derivative of Severed Micro Penis.
Oh well.
They're not as cutting edge.
God damn it.
That's a weird headline. He came at me aggressively with his micro penis.
Yeah, and
you know
angry.
what? That just sounds like Cards Against Humanity.
It sounds like what's his name? Max Weinfeld. What's his name?
Are you
Winky Swizzlesteak?
No, that one Jewish Hollywood producer.
Harvey Birdman. What is it? Winky Westerlook? I don't know.
No, that's a new character now. We gotta rope him into something.
Which one?
I think what you did is combine Harvey Weinstein and Max Landis into one super sketchy individual.
Max Wineland. Yeah. Maxie, I guess, to include Harvey somewhere.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Gorsh, Maxie. Quit
Meet my partner, Max Weinfeld.
Whoa, no, he's been Me Too'd.
Quit running at that ficus plant aggressively with your micro penis out.
Well, he is a
Tell me what to
lumbersexual.
do.
He runs at plants. But yeah.
No, he seduces plants.
Oh, God. How do you seduce a vegetable?
Rapes plants. During the summer of 1983, in a quiet town near Minneapolis, Minnesota, the charred body of a woman was found inside the kitchen stove of a small farmhouse. You done fucking with your shit? The video camera...
You heard nothing? You heard nothing?
What the fuck is happening?
Nothing? There's this new hipster bar I just had to try, so I just slam my headphones down and run out the door.
Did you just clip through reality
Yes.
and land in your chair again?
I clipped through reality. Whoops, there goes gravity.
A small video camera was found in the kitchen, standing on a tripod, pointing at the oven. No tape was found inside the camera at the time.
This whole opening paragraph is essentially what no sleep titles have become. But it works here because it's not the title, and This is actually a nice, eerie setup. And I like that.
Somebody make a burner account and post this story on No Sleep, but make the first paragraph the title.
Ooh.
See, there's a promise given here. And it's just here's the thing. This 4-paragraph story has a interesting setup that gets you interested. And long story short, the conclusion will pay off. That's the difference between this. You know what? The author started writing this and knew where it was going to go.
Right.
Novel concept.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a novel concept. I mean, it's a very short story. I don't know if
It's
it's
a
enough for a
novella
novel.
concept.
Yeah.
Although the scene was originally labeled as a homicide by police, an unmarked VHS tape was later discovered at the bottom of the farm's well, which had apparently dried up earlier that year.
The Ring. Okay. Despite its worn condition and the fact that it contained no audio, police were still able to view the contents of the tape. It depicted a woman recording herself in front of a video camera, seemingly using the same camera that the police found in the kitchen. This is what I thought when it said it was found in the bottom of a well. My first thought was it's going to show her setting this all up herself, but then how did it get in the well? Anyway, seemingly using the same camera that police found in the kitchen. After positioning the camera to include both her and her kitchen stove in its view, she turned on the oven, opened the door, crawled inside, and then did the dinosaur. No. And then
I was wondering if you were going to do that.
And then closed the door behind her. After 8 minutes into the video...
Cats could be heard meowing.
Yeah, the oven could be seen...
On the no audio, the cats could be supernaturally heard meowing.
Oh god, her cat killed her.
Wouldn't that be interesting if you had a video with no audio except for a cat meowing? There's no noise, no background anything. She turned on the oven, opened the door, crawled inside, and then closed the door behind her. After 8 minutes into the video, the oven could be seen shaking violently. So she's like struggling to get out, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, thick black smoke emanated from it. For the remaining 45 minutes of the video, until the batteries in the camera died, it remained in its stationary position.
That's a lot of really good little details.
Yeah.
This just feels, oh man, this is such in contrast to what we usually read that I feel really good about this.
And
And
then someone opened up the oven and she backed out of it and she slowly turned around and said, "It's Brittany, bitch."
God damn it. And she had the most fake smile on her face that you ever saw.
I love that smile. That image is just so great. She's like, "Yeah, it's me. I'm Brittany. I'm that bitch."
I was the bitch all along.
Wait a minute. I never understood this song until this moment when I'm performing it. That's me. Wait a minute.
It's almost like literally that's the thought she's having.
What was your inspiration for writing "It's Brittany, bitch"? Where does that come from? Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I go out into my backyard and I look up at the stars and I just write what comes to me.
Yeah.
I went to Ancestry.com and turns out I am 100% that bitch.
Yeah.
To avoid disturbing the local community, the police never released any information about the tape or even the fact that it was found. Police were also not able to determine who put the tape in the well or why the height and stature of the woman in the video did not come close to matching the body that they found in the oven.
Huh.
Oh.
Huh. So
The next 50 minutes of this will just be the two of us making Minecraft noises.
So here's the question for me. What?
Okay, so woman puts herself in oven on camera. Police were not able to determine who put the tape in the well or why the height and stature of the woman in the video did not come close to matching the body that they had found in the oven.
Well, what happened was the woman recorded herself getting into the oven, okay?
Yeah.
Then she got out of the oven, rewound the tape back a little bit so that you would just see like the oven was still closed, and put someone else's body in there and burned them. And that's what happened. It's like splicing a tape, splicing footage,
But wouldn't the story doesn't mention any like cuts or presumed trick photography.
And also,
but it doesn't have sound, and having no audio is a sign of tampering.
Plus the camera never moved, so it's like easy to go back and splice a shot like that.
Well,
here's the thing.
Can you record on VHS without audio? I'm asking seriously. I don't know the technology.
I don't know that is a thing you can just do automatically on the camra.
Yeah,
you can disable the camera though, or disable the microphone. But
true.
Here's the thing though: police never released. Police
Yeah.
never released any of this information, so the person writing this is either a police officer or the killer.
It does kind of run afoul of that. Oh, I died at the end of it. Well, then how did you write this? Which I'm also guilty of. But I kind of don't care here because it's just nicely crafted microfiction.
Yeah, because I mean, any person's autobiography, you're going to be like, how did they write this? They're dead. You know?
Oh my god.
I think a big appeal of this story to me is that it is that early creepypasta ambiguity, and it doesn't fall neatly into any category, but we have a comment here from the Gaming Sponge: simplistic and ambiguous, very good. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
The Gaming Sponge?
Yeah.
It is the Gaming Sponge.
Holy
Gaming
shit.
Sponge.
He cleans up games.
God damn it.
There's also a comment: it's a very creepy and creative story, but it is too short. That's a wrong comment. That is an incorrect comment. That is the perfect length.
There's another one by Nothing Rush who says this story was crap. Your opinion is up to you, but it's also wrong.
Okay. So yeah, that's a microfiction. Do you guys like it?
I do.
Okay.
Please comment, like, and subscribe if you have an opinion.
Yeah.
That's our episode.
Yep.
We'll be releasing pretty much exclusively microfiction reviews for the rest of time.
Mm-hmm.
So hope you like 20-minute episodes. Bye, everybody.
Bye!
Or we could just do multiple microfictions.
Oh, I stopped recording.
Oh, very well.
I already stopped recording. DP, you said you had to go buy that gun for that thing. And...
When I'm about to kill the person, I'm going to be like, it's Brittany, bitch. Bow!
God damn it.
Tortellini is a defunct forum for microfiction. And there was it's kind of like this weird corpse of a website with a bunch of cool stories on it. And you can still find some of them by going to the Tumblr.
Ooh.
And we're going to be reading the results for microfiction contest number 7. The theme was Magic Doorway. And we have a first, second, and second place.
First, second, and second.
I think I know why this went defunct.
Listen, it's Terror Tortellini. It's not Counting Calamari or whatever the fuck else.
Counting
Cuba Gooding Jr.
No, I don't know any pasta with C in the beginning. Oh, well.
You don't know any pasta with C in the beginning. DP, tell him.
Cantellini.
God damn it. Cataloni, I think you mean?
Cannoli?
Cannoli, yeah, cannoli.
Cannelloni, that's what it is. Cannelloni. Anyway.
Cantaloupe. I don't like Italian food because I like my food to not taste like puke. Things that will, against the Italians, yes. So how about I just read our first place and then you two can fight among the second places because those
How about we
aren't
go in order?
Okay.
So much for that. Again.
Oh, okay. There's 2 second places because there was a tie. There was no third.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird. Then just give a third.
Just arbitrarily decide. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe we can decide now. Several years later. 5 years later.
So what we can do is go ahead and read these stories about magic doorways. And when you think about it, when you think about it, isn't an oven kind of like a magic doorway to burning yourself to death?
It's a magic doorway to flavor.
First place.
Are you going to tell who wrote it, or are you just going to steamroll through?
It's at the end.
It's at the beginning. Also, it's Brittany Bitch.
First place. The skip door had never been at the center of humanity's expansion into the galaxy ever since we discovered the alien relic on Europa 500 years ago.
Sci-fi, already not into it.
It's dumb. Anyone who invests themselves into sci-fi is stupid and immature and can't deal with reality.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, we had built thousands of devices, letting us instantaneously travel to worlds and stations hundreds of light years away, as easily as walking from one room to the next. This technology utilized what is known as the Mass Effect.
I thought it was using the Monsters Inc. theory.
Possibly. Technologies previously undreamt of were discovered and back engineered into human culture. And though we never fully understood just how the skip door worked, we learned a few things about it. It's been known for centuries that you aren't actually transported, that the far end of the door builds a copy of the original that steps through. When the original disappears, we had always assumed it was destroyed. We were wrong. By Britney Spears.
420.
Britney Spears 420.
What if she legally changed her name to that?
By Jacob Green.
All right. So after somebody goes through the door, wouldn't everybody else know that the other copy wasn't destroyed?
Doesn't really say where they're going. This is operating off a common theory about how we could actually achieve cloning. We just make copies of the original.
Well, yeah.
But like, keep the original. Like there's, sorry, not cloning, transportation.
See, cloning works by cloning.
Fuck you! I found new vodka.
Fuck you.
Teleportation. Teleportation. There's the theory of disassemble something down to the subatomic level and somehow rearrange it in another place, which is mind-bogglingly difficult. or there's make a copy of something, but then
you,
we
maybe.
do with the original.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's actually pretty easy because my people discovered that ages ago. You see, I don't follow science fiction. I live science fiction.
What do you mean,
Bitches.
your people?
The weird rock bacteria I come from.
Racist.
It's not racist.
Italian Abysmii, racist against himself.
See, that's weird because Paprika's half Italian.
So
I
you
can't
could
say that.
only put up with half, huh, Abysmii?
We're back on a racism kick as of late.
Yeah. Well, it comes and goes in waves.
Yeah. Much comes and goes in waves, like the immigrants that keep piling up outside.
Jesus Christ. As usual, Abysmii goes too far.
Listen, I don't think there are really that many immigrants piling up. I mean, 6 million? Come on.
God damn it.
That's the irony. Like, they pile up not because there's too many, it's because ICE keeps just not letting them fucking through.
Uh-huh.
They're like, look how many there are.
Uh-huh.
The ice wall that is at the edge of the flat Earth is not letting the
Ice
Mexicans
wall
through.
at our northern border keeping the Canadians out.
Okay, guys. How long do you think it took before President Trump understood that there wasn't a wall of ice at the border?
I don't think he understands to this day.
We have ICE taking care of the immigrants, and he's like, that's good. I guess we don't have to build a wall.
That's good. That's why global warming doesn't exist. And there's an ice wall at the southern border. It's very hot down there.
You know what we need to do is we need to build a wall of ice. It doesn't need to be too tall. They just need to slip and slide and fall back down onto their own side.
Don't give them their coats. No. God damn it.
This is stupid.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's Trump,
place. That's Trump, bitch. Real dumb. Second
Dude,
place.
if he gets reelected, he will. If he gets reelected, he needs to do that at his victory speech.
It's Trump, bitch.
Here's one reason I don't believe Trump will be elected, and that's that yesterday he was rushed, or I guess Saturday, he was rushed to the hospital secretly. And they're covering it up.
Yeah, but
I think he's gonna, I think he might.
best case scenario.
Maybe.
Sorry,
Huh?
not best case. Most likely scenario, as far as that tact, is he drops out. He doesn't kick the can. He
Jesus
just drops
Christ,
out because
Abysmii.
he's like, fuck it.
For anybody who wasn't paying attention, Abysmii just said, best case scenario, Trump drops dead.
Best case? No, I said best case scenario. He drops out because of health complications.
No, don't try rewriting history. Come on.
Second place, humans are particularly susceptible to something called a boundary effect.
With walls.
Yes. Humans are particularly susceptible to giant immovable objects. When a human passes through a doorway or a wall, they have a tendency to forget whatever they were doing in the other room. I don't know if this author is meaning like if you go through dimensions or actual just go from room to room.
You know what I have to say to this idea? Okay, boomer.
It took me a second after stepping into the dining room to remember the boundary effect, and another to realize I'd forgotten something. I looked back into the room I'd come from and remembered immediately. Of course, the creature crouched just behind me in the doorway helped to jog. The creature crouched just behind me in the doorway helped to jog my memory. Byron Connolly. Not a bad premise.
What the hell is happening?
Did a cat just knock over a glass bowl?
So this is beautiful. My Paprika just, I don't know, probably did something stupid in the kitchen, like she's wont to do.
God damn it.
And in response to that, Slimebeast's lawyer raised an objection.
Yeah.
But to Brandon, that all sounded like the same thing in the same room.
Right.
So the boundary effect very much is in effect.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
So, Abysmii,
First place now.
Abysmii, we're going to go with that, and we're not going to tell Brandon that Paprika has started meowing.
Shh. Not out loud.
Okay. All right,
so this premise is, I can see what they were going for. The execution is lacking.
Well, this was in 2014, so we can sort of forgive the fact that it's like a tried and true trope. I mean, by now it's been done 1 billion times. By then, maybe it had been done like 100 or 1,000. But
You could
nowadays it'd be like no excuse. But back then,
no, No, you could still do this. Like you just have to make it really, really subtle fridge horror. And it's all in the way you phrase that final sentence, and I think that's the biggest detractor to the story. Is just I don't know, man. The way that's phrased just kind of made me go, like I lost all steam.
Yeah.
How about
it's a little too on the nose. Of course, the creature crouched just behind the doorway helped to jog my memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know, Robert Loggia. Anyway,
fucking who?
Robert Loggia here to read a creepypasta.
Yeah. Let's rewrite this, okay? You talk about the effect of forgetting something after you leave the room, and you talk about how it happens, and so on and so forth, and then you just end it with a simple statement of, that's what it counts on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what it, hopes you do.
Yeah.
Is forget every time you leave the room, Anyway, second place, as opposed to second place, Alice thought it was curious. Curiouser and curiouser.
Oh, no.
Alice thought it was curious that the small door had appeared where her window should have been. But it's just an open window. It's a door in the wall. But she had a peculiar...
Is she British?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But
What's
she was...
this?
But she was... Oh, uh-oh. But she was a peculiar girl, and very clever. With just enough bravery to welcome an adventure, so she turned the little doorknob and stepped inside.
Can we pause to just remark on the fact that Slimebeast has a Jekyll and Hyde syndrome?
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
He can sense it coming. Oh no, here I go.
So what we've got in this story so far, if we were to unpack this, is we've got a girl what doesn't know what's good for her, needs a good slap across the face, needs all that dreaming of adventure knocked out of her skull.
And sent back to the workhouse.
Yeah, send her back to the workhouse, producing saltpeter, I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
That would be a mine, but okay.
Yeah. A queer sensation crawled up her leg. If I had a nickel...
Kinky.
If I had a nickel for every time I was out somewhere and the queer sensation just started crawling up my leg, and I was like, oh.
Just stop going to gay bars, dude.
No.
If you're not into that, don't go to it.
I thought it was a hipster bar. It was just a gay bar.
Okay, how many times do we have to go to Trickle Johnston's Pea Warehouse before you catch on to the fact that it's a gay bar?
What? A queer sensation crawled up her leg as she stepped upon the ground beyond the door. It was a velvet carpet so luxurious it hugged her feet, playfully tugging at her slippers and smelling her feet with each step.
Wouldn't it be very embarrassing if you got a queer sensation of me taking off your socks?
Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding about that, unless...
Maybe,
perhaps. What if we kissed on the carpet, eh? With each step, and all around her a beautiful picket fence of pearl white led her eyes past the carpeted path and onward to the outlandish and wonderful world beyond, the Wonderland, if you will.
It's like Willy Wonka, but it's a bunch of dirty socks.
Willy Wonka and the Carpet Factory. Look around, take a peek, and you'll see carpets beyond your understanding. What? Rolled up here, piled there.
There's no real way of knowing which trend the carpet's going. Is it shag?
It's just a river of shag carpet.
He's just kicking the boat along the floor. He's got one leg out of the boat, pushing it. All right.
And they ride on top of a giant vacuum.
Yeah.
You drank fizzy carpet cleaner.
Will my son be all right? No, I'm afraid he's dead. I mean, look
he
at him.
He swallowed tons of carpet.
Yeah. Oompa, loompa, oompa-dee-doo. Oh, fucking shit, we're gonna be sued. Everybody run away.
Everyone signed that NDA.
Oh no, look out, it's ice. It was exhilaration. Okay, so she's walking into a world. We kind of lost the thread of this.
No, now you're turning into Rod Sterling.
It was Rod Sterling. Who's that? Is that like Max Winewash?
Rod Sterling.
It was
Rod Sterling steak.
She decided. a brief tingle of excitement as she took in this brand new place. With a pang of guilt, Alex looked back to the darkened room behind her, where the other orphans lay dreaming of worlds, such as she was about to enter, the Twilight Zone. The bedroom was muted and plain, as if covered in a film of mundanity. Mundanity, the less popular competitor to Zoomanity.
No, that's the smell that they had before Brittany's whatever. Fucking Elias, cut this. It's dumb.
No, Elias, leave it in. Elias, leave it in. Turn the volume up 2 times. Slow it down.
Distort it. Put reverb.
The smell that they had before Brittany's whatever. Fucking Elias, cut this. It's dumb.
From which Alice was finally escaping, flinging it aside like so many cobwebs.
Slimebeast, you can't lower the pitch. You can't slow it down, then raise the pitch. That would just make it normal.
I'm sorry, are you
just say it
Elias?
slower.
Elias has Mormon Jesus on his side.
Yeah, that's true.
And in the Book of Mormon, it says that in the olden days, Mormon Jesus both lowered the pitch and sped up the track. As she turned back, she suddenly noticed a sickly smell permeating the air, and all at once the spell was shattered. Small skulls littered the floor around monstrous teeth. Oh, the carpet is a tongue. The picket fences are teeth. A sickly respiration pushed and pulled at her body. As she turned to flee, the tongue tossed her into a grisly assemblage of fangs, her screams soon replaced by the grinding and crunching of bones. The creature slinked back down the side of the building and clattered down the street with its 8 claw-like legs, confident it would escape notice as it always had, for creatures of that sort can only be seen by children, and children should be asleep at that hour. By Benjamin Dyer. It's Benjamin, bitch.
So this is like that old Alice in Wonderland game, the dark one on the PC?
I don't know.
This is basically that.
Well, did that actually happen in the game? Because if not, then fuck you.
It's very similar.
Oh.
What if Alice in Wonderland, but purple guy?
Purple guy. Alright. Well...
I certainly like that one the most out of the 3.
Well, yeah, that should have been number 1, but what are you gonna do? It's several years in the past, not our decision.
And the website's defunct.
Yeah, and we're idiots.
Eh.
That as well.
I would have named the main character Brittany.
Yes, I agree with that creative decision. So let's take a look at now what is a Twitter thread?
Oh, what?
On my Twitter?
What? Do they allow original thought on Twitter?
No.
No.
You just sneak it by.
Now I'm picturing the CEO of Twitter as just Sora. It's like, no, we can't allow that, Sora.
Sora?
You're right.
There's Nazis on Twitter.
You're right. Everyone disagrees with me as a Nazi. I'm going to use the ban blade.
That's not what I said, you stupid asshole.
Shut up! I'll fucking kill you!
I guess they're allowing him to say that? He's allowed to make death threats? So this is a horror story thread posted by Airdorf. And recently, I think it was one of you two, I can't tell you two apart, one of you was talking about just putting a horror story out there and just letting it be.
That was me, which is not an original idea. I remember Zola Moon. Like, that shit was so refreshing. Real or not does not matter. Because consuming it via Twitter was just so powerful.
What was that Instagram thread about the prostitute? You'll have to be more specific there, buddy.
I don't think they have threads, but
another one I read ages ago. Paprika actually found this one. I'll have to ask if she remembers what it was called, but it was basically some dude recounting being kidnapped and held in a basement, and like he could hear other kids that were also kidnapped. It was really well done, obviously fake.
I don't know, man. Epstein,
Weinstein.
Winefield.
Boy, could you imagine? could you imagine in this day and age the poor schlep who has to go around with the name Epstein Weinstein? You know he's out there.
My name's Epstein Weinstein. It is. I don't know why he's British.
No.
My name's Epstein Weinstein. That it is. And I want to tell you, I don't diddle kids. I leave actresses alone. Don't give them the bone.
So this, like the Zola Moon thing, is a crazy story that unfolds on Twitter.
Mhm.
Unlike the Zola Moon thing, the Zola Moon thing is just kind of not necessarily a horror story, and
Right.
it's not meant to be interpreted that way. This actually is a horror story just found on Twitter by @Airdorf,
Mhm.
and we'll leave a link to this in the description, of course, as well as the microfiction contest and the woman in the oven.
And if this does not have just as many N-words as Zola Moon,
It
Gonna be pissed off.
will not have a single N-word. Let me check.
I see the first post has the word night, you're a liar.
But it's a different kind of knight. It's like the knight and sword, so that's a K-word.
The K-word, isn't that the guy Brittany was dating?
You get a temp job at a big Halloween supply store, the kind that always take over empty retail space. Around 4p,
Round 4p.
instead of 4 p.m.
Who wants
On
to
the
be
30
around for p?
Well, no, it's 400p, so that's 4 pounds.
Oh.
You want to go over to Trickle Johnson's pay warehouse, you do? Gotta bring your rain slicker. Around 4 p.m. on the 31st, you arrive to start your shift. You know it's going to be a big night, but there's hardly anyone in the store.
Ooh.
You and your co-worker are standing around by the cash registers, occasionally helping the rare customer, but mostly joking around and checking your phones. You think it's kind of cute how she sings along to Monster Mash, which plays on the store sound system.
Oh, God damn it. Why does there always have to be a goddamn love interest?
Why does there have to be women in my horror stories?
Why do they have to add an obvious love interest?
She's a Mary Sue, I can tell. All
Yep.
she does is sing and look on her phone.
They say that she knows the words to Monster Mash, but they don't show her learning it.
Yeah.
Actually, the store music playlist is kind of limited, so you end up hearing Monster Mash several times every hour. Well, there we go. When the playlist loops. It becomes kind of an inside joke, with you and your coworker singing along and doing cheesy dance moves every time it plays.
I will identify with this.
With the whisk.
I will identify the will of the wisp if it's the last thing I do.
I roll an Arcana check. I love Halloween. I love going to Halloween stores.
Okay,
listen.
Obama?
Y'all, listen, all the Halloween stores, they need to expand their playlist, get some Rob Zombie in there, get some death metal in there,
Yeah.
get some good stuff, because
That's right.
there's a lot of spooky songs out there that you could include in your playlists.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. How
So
about...
I do like the kind of realness of this. This does accurately depict working retail around Halloween.
Yeah, because you're going to hear Monster Mash, you're going to hear Werewolf of London,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're lucky, you're going to hear Spooky Scary Skeletons.
And you're
then-
definitely going to hear Thriller.
Now,
Yeah.
when was the last time you guys were at a party store on Halloween?
Last year.
Not this year, but last year.
Was it a Halloween-themed store, or was it a party store?
No, it was a pop-up store.
It was
they're talking
the
about.
Spirit Halloween that
Yeah,
rolls out just like this thread
I see.
describes. They show up one time a year and they just do this.
Because I worked at a party store, like in general, and on Halloween all they did was play the normal music, so I was just listening to fucking Christina Aguilera on
You
loop and
poor
shit.
bastard.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get Brittany.
Candyman.
When will my reflection show who I am?
am
Inside. Wait a minute, she looks in the reflection and it's Brittany, bitch.
That's the real
Ooh.
horror story.
Mm.
Alright, so anyway, doing dance moves with your at-work girlfriend.
Sir, we're firing you. Why? You can't keep calling every female employee your at-work girlfriend.
Okay, hold on. Can we normalize having work spouses? Because I kind of love that idea.
We can't have you referring to everyone as your at-work girlfriend. What? Did they find out about each other?
Shit.
No.
We can't have you referring to all of your coworkers as your little cum sluts.
Not everyone in your team is a potential waifu, sir.
Mhm.
Some are husbandos.
Should have
Is
known
there
there was trouble when the coworker was calling him Baka.
After a while, however, the shift drags on and you get less and less enthusiastic about hearing the Monster Mash yet again. but she doesn't.
Every time the song comes on, she dances more and more energetically and imitates the vocals with greater authenticity. You start to get weirded out as her movements become more grotesque. It's like she goes into a trance whenever the song comes on.
Dracula and his son.
Frankenstein.
Sarah, are you okay? Did you guys ever see that original version of the Monster Mash video?
Don't believe so.
Oh, it
The
was
lost episode of the Monster Mash.
It was a college humor video, which you'll have to forgive. It's supposedly the original recording before they changed it for the radio. And it's just the guy going, what was it? They did the monster. Fuck! It was a graveyard. Fuck! They fucked. It sucked.
The next few times the song comes on, her dancing becomes almost awkwardly contorted. You try telling her to chill, but she either ignores you or shoots you annoyed looks. Afterwards, she complains that her neck hurts.
She often, often does.
Hey.
She complains that her back is blown out. I don't understand.
Her knees are really sore.
Hey, like, if I was like Frankenstein and like you were like the Bride of Frankenstein, would you give me head?
Zing. If this turns out at the end that this is a listener of the show and this is just Becky the human being, I'll be happy. She was contorting in weird ways. And anyway.
It does have that energy.
Yeah.
At this point, you're actually trying to avoid being near her whenever you know the song is about to play on the ever-looping store playlist.
That is no way to act around your work spouse.
Yeah. Then you find her in the middle of one of the aisles, not aisle, but like an island, ISL, yes, staring at a plastic butcher knife, softly whispering the lyrics to herself.
Everyone has repeatedly asked for a edit button on Twitter. Despite the claims that everyone wants that, Twitter believes that we do not want that.
Okay.
Thank you for increasing our character count. That was actually very helpful. Please give us an edit button next. Please.
I have a thing here. I actually have a statement here from the CEO of Twitter.
Susan Wojcicki.
Yes. If we gives you the edit button, we won't know what you say. Okay. That's their official statement. So they don't want you to be able to hide what you said.
No. You grab her shoulder, which kind of snaps her out of it. She looks pale, like she's going to be sick or something. She says something about restocking some items and rushes into the stock room.
I restocked the room. It was a financial boon. You go back to the register, a little weirded out by what just happened. A few minutes pass by, then you hear a strange, muffled sound.
You turn the volume of the store sound system down, stupid Monster Mash, as you listen carefully. Yes, you can definitely hear something coming from the stockroom. Is that your coworker?
Is it Purple Guy?
He was a guy.
Your coworker. She kind of is a fucking crazy bitch.
Yeah.
And not like Britney's
careful.
crazy.
Yeah.
But like actual crazy.
You gotta be careful when that song comes on. The Monster Mash song. You gotta close the doors when she's, listening to Monster Mash.
You just see, like, the power goes down, the door opens, and you just see her face in shadow with her eyes lit up, and you just hear dun-dun-dun-dun, ba-dun-dun-dun-dun. You're like, please let the song end, please let the night end before the song does. Five Nights at Freddy's references anybody directly to the way it ends?
That's
okay,
what we're
anyway.
doing.
Who owns Monster Mash?
Me.
Who owns Purple Mash? You make your own way to the back, where you can hear what sounds like display shelves falling over and merchandise being flung around. Fucking bop! You can hear your coworker more clearly now. She's screaming the lyrics to Monster Mash.
It was a monster! Fuck! It was a graveyard! Fuck!
Should you go back to the register? Call the police. Get your phone out and film her.
Yeah.
That thought would cross somebody's mind. But reading it out just sounds very voyeuristic. You step into the aisle, spelled correctly that time, where all the horrible noise is coming from. Yes, women singing is horrible noise. Yep. You catch a glimpse of your coworker in the dim fluorescent light. Where's the rest of your coworkers when this is happening? You let out an uncontrollable gasp.
So we can all agree that all women are terrible singers except for Britney Spears.
Damn it. Mm-hmm. I do want to say the idea of recording her on the phone is a good one because it was a post. It was a World Star post.
Okay, so do not browse the hashtag World Star on Twitter.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Unless you really want to, in which case do it because it's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
You have been forewarned, I'll say that much.
Your coworker's limbs are impossibly bent, warped, and crooked. About two of those meaning the same thing. Her forearms dangle from broken elbow joints. Her head is stuck at a right angle from the base of her neck. Her knees are double-hinged. You know? Say what you will about a girl with double-hinged knees, but don't knock it till you try it. She shuffles toward you with surprising speed. I like where this is going.
I bet you
My favorite position is when you stuff your woman in a suitcase, but you leave a little bit of space open. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Double hinged, as they say.
Is that position called the Russian whistleblower?
It's called the TSA inspection.
Ooh, that's strong. You run with all of your strength out of the stockroom, through the aisles of leering Halloween mask costumes and decorations. Monster Mash is playing so loud it's deafening. As you reach the exit, something smacks into your shoulder from behind. Into your shoulder from behind.
Something smacks into your shoulder. We should point out that's written correctly. It's just dead palate. Okay.
Yeah.
Something smacked into shoulder and you're
angry.
It was a smack. It was a shoulder
smack.
I looked back. Her limbs began to crack.
It was a bodily crack.
I was selling Halloween when I heard a song scream. I was afraid. I thought I'd get laid.
God damn it. You turn around briefly, your heart pounding. It's a fake plastic butcher knife.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You reach your car and drive home. You call the police, who search the Halloween store. It's a total mess, but they find nobody inside. Nothing appeared to be taken except the CD, which had the store playlist on it.
Hey!
You'll listen to it on the way home. All right.
So I think that was a fun little story.
Yeah, that was very too spoopy for me, and I appreciated it.
My only thing, which, I like it, my only thing would be, did she throw the plastic knife at him, or was it like she stabbed it into his shoulder, but it's plastic so it didn't do anything? Or
yeah, I think she was like still strangely contorted and was coming after him, and then like tried to stab him.
Yeah,
and he turned around and it was it's just a plastic knife.
Right. I would slightly prefer if it said something like you feel something hit your shoulder and can tell it's the bending plastic of a fake knife or something. Just like it's being stabbed at you as opposed to like thrown or some shit like that.
But that would be
that's
like
a very small nitpick. Again, that'd
be a rubber knife, not a plastic one. So yeah. I think it's fine the way it's written.
Yeah, it's a very, very small nitpick.
So good job, Erdorf. And also, I haven't played the games you make, Faith, but I do watch people play them, and they're pretty damn cool. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, I guess the author of the story makes video games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this one of them? Can we play this?
Twitter is basically a video game. You post a post, and if the button gets hit, you get dopamine into your brain.
Twitter is a DVD menu. Sometimes you hit play. Sometimes you go to behind-the-scenes content. Sometimes you accidentally change the language.
Twitter is a shitty Fallout game, a shitty normal or new Fallout game, where there's not really much to do except...
So a Fallout game.
Yeah. There's nothing
except
really...
for the one good one.
There's nothing really to do except become hated and vilified by your town. But yeah.
So links to this and the microfiction in the link below. There are more microfictions. And give us a retweet or a like or whatever if you did.
Abysmii, why don't you bring this episode to a close with a soulful rendition of the entire Monster Bash song?
Gotta get the lyrics in front of me.
Atticus! Now!
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Hey everybody, it's me, Purple Guy. Yeah, no, don't scream, don't cry. No, don't run away. Just sit down, relax. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I just wanted to sort of record this to maybe clear the air a little bit, get the word out, speak in my defense. A lot of you know me as, that spooky ooky boogeyman from Five Nights at Freddy's, or I guess FNAF, as the kids call it. But yeah, I just wanted to make it known that I did not murder several children at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why would anybody think I did that? Just because I'm purple? I mean, it's a skin condition. I was born purple, a little purple baby. The doctors thought I was dead. Spent a long time just kind of sitting in a biohazard bin until they realized, he's just purple. He's just purple skin, and yeah, not really a good start. But I just wanted to stress that I'm not a killer. I haven't killed several children at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and I know what you're thinking at this point. And no, I didn't kill one child at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and no, I didn't kill 6 children at some other pizzeria. No, I'm not trying to trick you fine folks. I legitimately have never, ever hurt a child, much less another human being, in any regard. In fact, I've been beaten, more often than I would care to admit, because, I'm purple. I'm a purple guy, and grew up in the deep south. As you can imagine, not very tolerant of people with different skin colors, and there's no color more different than mine. Yeah, purple. So I feel like things have kind of gotten a little out of control, a little out of hand. This guy Matt Pat, I don't know what I ever did to him, but boy howdy, Matt Pat sure is mad at me. I don't know what I did. I'm sure he's a fine guy. I'm sure he's a real nice, upstanding gentleman. The wife and kids, he probably goes to work every day at YouTube or however that works, and just tries his gosh darn hardest to make the best quality content that he can. But I don't understand why there are 50 videos about me personally and saying that I'm killing children. I'm not killing children. I've never even thought about hurting anybody. I don't understand. What I'm saying is, it's probably because I'm purple, and people aren't used to that, and I understand that. It's not necessarily like I think that Matt Pat is a racist, or that he's xenophobic, or purple-phobic, or whatever you want to call it. It's just that I just wish that people would just kind of leave me the fuck alone, you know what I'm saying? I'm just at the end of my rope here. Got kicked out of my house because somebody called my landlord and said I killed a bunch of children at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria in like the 80s, which is like I was like maybe 2 at the time. I don't know how that would work. And, people saying all this stuff about me. Lost my job. Lost my girlfriend. People were calling her a child killer lover. Not really easy to put up with in that relationship. And I can understand and respect her decision to leave. It's really probably for the best. I don't know why she had to go off with my best friend, Teal Guy, but, well, these things happen. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, please, next time you see one of those videos where Matt Pat or some other guy is talking about oh, here comes old purple guy. He's got purple skin and a purple face, and he can't grow hair, and he's just purple all over, and he has a botched circumcision and all this other stuff. Just do me a favor and leave a comment. Leave a comment and put, I don't know, like hashtag I stand with purple guy. Maybe just do that for your old pal purple guy. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, guys. Oh gosh, it sure is nice of you guys to listen to me and hear me out on this one. And I really hope that we can come together and promote purple acceptance.
After Halloween sales.
Yeah.
The best time to pick up a bunch of useless shit you don't need that will make you feel like you're an awesome big titty anime goth girl, even though you're just some fat dumpy loser with a fucking plastic pumpkin on top of his computer tower, and no one will ever see any of your props because you're a hermit. And feel free to interject at any time, guys.
No, that autobiography you're giving is pretty good.
Hey, I have a giant eyeball on top of my computer tower. Fucking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not a pumpkin. But yeah, post-Halloween sales are pretty awesome because, unless it's something that's been really picked through, where everything good is gone and all that's left is like the glittery shit. Like, who the fuck covers things in glitter for Halloween? You ever notice those fucking things in stores?
Yes, actually.
Hey, here's a crow. Here's an awesome-looking crow. We've covered it in glitter. Like, no, thank you.
See, here's what I do for Halloween when the kids are coming and they're trick-or-treating. You don't want the kids to choke on the wrappers, so you have to, like, you shove all the candy. You have to tell R.
Kelly not to show for the party, yeah?
Yes, precisely. He's not a rapper, but I get the premise of your joke.
Yeah, fucking...
So you get all of the candy bars, get them out, and then put them into the bowl, and you have the naked candy in there, and then you sprinkle glitter on there for the kids.
Yeah.
No potential problems, and some razor blades.
In fact, just dump a bunch of glitter into their candy pail all over all the candy they have. Yeah. Make every day Halloween when they're in the hospital, scared of dying.
So, I heard your child was hospitalized. What happened? Too much fucking glitter.
Mm-hmm.